And I'm very pleased to have a colleague from the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus to moderate today's session. Pat Whalen is the Chief Operating Officer for the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus. And those of you who joined us last evening were able to enjoy and see firsthand all the exciting things that are happening on the campus. As I mentioned last night, the medical campus itself has had 2 million square feet of new buildings since 2000 and 2 million more coming online by 2017. So it's pretty phenomenal by any measure. And I certainly want to note that the medical campus is a visible hub of what's happening on a much broader basis, not even just in Buffalo, but to the north and certainly throughout upstate New York of exciting opportunities and innovation. Pat's been a terrific colleague, and we appreciate their support as a sponsor of the Bright Buffalo Niagara Forum. So please welcome Pat Whalen.
Thank you, Marnie. Just a word about the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus. Most of you probably already know, but we're a consortium of 9 member institutions. I get a lot of accolades and get to do a lot of these kinds of things, but it's really the member institutions that are making it happen on the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus. That said, one of our major objectives is to foster entrepreneurship, not just out of the research that happens on the campus, but all across the community. And obviously, there's an awful lot of things happening on the campus that's resulting in the formation of early stage companies. So the Bright Forum is really important to us, and that's why we're happy to support the Bright Forum. So my job is to introduce the next 5 presenters. So without further ado, I want to introduce June Kim from Apollonia Health, Inc.
Thank you for the introduction. My name is June Kim. I'm the CEO of Apollonia Health. At Apollonia Health, we want to offer more love and less cavities for the families with children. We're seeking $300,000 for warm market introduction this year and early next year, and to raise Series A later next year. So this is the reason why we can sleep at night. The number one chronic disease for children is dental cavities, according to the 2010 U.S. Surgeon General. And currently, the main anti-cavity agent we use is fluoride, and there are cities concerned, and citizens are concerned about the use of fluoride in our system. And the current oral hygiene products that we use that contain fluoride is actually a diluted version of what adults use for kids. And because it's got fluoride, it comes with a serious warning, meaning that if your child were to drink more than recommended, they need to be taken to the hospital. So, as a father of 2 children, I was concerned. And as the CEO of Apollonia Health and our team members, we want to change that concerns for our children. So we come out with actually a non-fluoridated anti-cavity mouth rinse that's actually drinkable. So if you think about how cavity occurs, when the acidity goes up, that's what we call demineralization, and that's when the cavity starts happening. But this process can be reversed, and we call that remineralization. So there is an actually natural anti-cavity agent called xylitol, which has been proven to be more effective than, say, fluoride or chlorhexidine that the dentists give you to be effective anti-cavity agent. So what we've done is that we made an improvement on xylitol to make the effect last longer and more efficacious. So this is launched this year, in fact last Friday. So our second product is actually antibacterial agent. They're also naturally driven. So this is actually one of the bacteria that's known to cause cavity the most. It's called S. mutans. So what happens is that they attach to the tooth surface, and then they start propagating. So what we have in our second product is that we basically mitigate those mechanisms to propagate and cause cavity in your mouth. So that's in our second product in the pipeline. Will be launched in 2 years. Sorry. So if you look at the oral hygiene industry, it's obviously a very large size. We spend a lot of money cleaning our teeth, buying toothpaste and toothbrush, etc., and we spend even more money on taking care of our teeth, dental cares. The most specific addressable market for us is pediatric market space or children's oral healthcare industry. A number of young children have cavities, even just the US and Canada alone, spend a lot of money on taking care of their teeth. So how are we going to go to market? Who are our customers? We have essentially two customers. One is the healthcare practitioners like the dentists and the hygienists, who are the key influencers to the purchasers of our products, who are the parents of the young children. With the dentists, as I mentioned, we launched our first product at the Canadian Academy of Pediatric Dentistry last Friday. We had overwhelming positive response from the pediatric dentists, and we actually occurred some sales at the trade show. And we're going to be conducting continuing medical education, dental education with the dentists in a small group setting. And we have retained a dental supply distributor who will be promoting our products to the pediatric dentist as well as the general dentist. And we have a number of key opinion leaders in the dental community that are supporting our company and product. In terms of reaching the consumers, we're going to be utilizing a lot of social network activities as well as working with the mommy bloggers to disseminate our information. And we're also planning to launch our crowdfunding activities to not only raise funding, but also raise awareness about our company and what we're doing. So this is how Apollonia Health sees our competitive market space. If you look at the sort of the left corner, we have a large consumer packaging companies such as Johnson & Johnson, P&G, and Sanofi. And they have only 0.01% fluoridated anti-cavity agent in their mouth rinses. And their unit cost is low. The next segment we see is natural health product that use, their value proposition is to use natural ingredients, and however, their efficacy is rather unknown. If you look at the next segment, is the biotech segment. We have a number of competitors. So if you look at Planet Technology, Biotechnology, and C3GN, they're currently going through clinical trials, and their product will not be ready for a while. And the other competitor, Organics, has probiotic pills. Essentially, their challenge is to educate consumers that giving the live bacteria to children to prevent cavities takes a little bit of a leap of faith. So why we're different from the rest of the companies? So we are the only company in Canada that's approved by Health Canada to have the therapeutic claim as a non-fluoridated anti-cavity mouth rinse for children as young as 9 months old. And we decided to face the consumers about the company, and therefore we figured that mouthwash is really the consumers understand the most. And we are the only company out of the spectrum that's specifically focusing on pediatric market space. So interesting to know that a number of companies such as Thomson May and Biotin were acquired by a large consumer packaging good companies with millions of dollars acquisition valuation. I'm having little challenges with the clicker, excuse me. So this is how we see our financial projections. So we just launched our prototype first generation product to the Canadian dentists just last Friday in Vancouver and BC, and we want to reach the US dentists by 2015. And how we're going to get there is by, working with the distributors and our e-commerce sites, and there are other e-commerce websites that promote health products, etc. And in 2016, we want to reach the retail sales channels in North America. After that, we want to reach the global market space. By 2015, we anticipate that we're going to be generating approximately $20 million of revenue. So this is the team members that's going to make this vision come alive. So by myself, this is my third startup company. I spent years in the life science industry, including R&D, worked in Indianapolis, Indiana, working with a diabetic group to coming with the late-stage diabetic drugs, to sales and then business development in life sciences industry. Our chief scientific officer is the head of research at the University of Toronto Dentistry Department. He's one of the top oral microbiologists in the world. And the third gentleman, Graham, is a former VP of Johnson & Johnson Consumer Healthcare, marketing head, and he managed the brand Listerine more than 10 plus years. And we're seeking $300,000 to launch the product, our first product, codenamed Zyncel, and then second product, continuously developing that for Zyncel, our second product, this year and late next year. And for that goal is to raise Series A towards the end of next year. So to summarize my presentation, as I mentioned, it's not Colgate, it's not Johnson & Johnson. In fact, Apollonia Health is the first company to have the Health Canada claim to be able to give young children as 9 months old without using fluoride to prevent cavities. We raised about $100,000 plus from federal and provincial governments to do our research and development. And we have a number of key opinion leaders supporting our products and companies, including the board of director of Academy of General Dentistry, which is the second largest dentistry or associations in the world, as well as the head of the pediatric dentistry. Now I want to summarize that ultimately what we're doing is to offer opportunity to spend more time and love our children rather than worrying about having our children having cavities or safety concerns about the product use. So if I can, does this mouse work? In fact, that's actually a video that I want to show you where that's our product has a pump, so you can just kind of squirt our anti-cavity mouth rinse to young children, such as my son, 3 years old. Thank you very much.
Before I introduce the next speaker, I'll tell you that before I had this job at the medical campus, a couple of people in the room remember that I was an entrepreneur and starting companies in 1985, and in 1990, I went through the Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership program with our next speaker. So I'm glad to see there's somebody in the room that's as old as I am. Jerry Murick from Precision Scientific Instruments.
Thank you, Pat. That was 1890. I'm not sure why this isn't working. There we go. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Murick, and I am the president and CEO of Precision Scientific Instruments, where miniature is about to get significantly smaller. So PSI is a producer of scientific equipment that is used in the R&D environment, and it's going to help to discover new materials and what happens to materials when they get smaller. So take the example of bulk gold. Bulk gold's properties really don't change even at the microscopic level. So the basic physical properties stay the same. But when you get to a single atom of gold, the game changes. In fact, the scientists who discovered this very disruptive and bleeding edge technology at the University of Buffalo have determined and proven that a single atom of gold is stronger than a chain of gold atoms. So clearly, size matters. So there's been a working lab version. It's been in the UB labs for just over 4 years, and PSI has exclusive license agreement at the University of Buffalo to produce this subnanometrology, which provides a precise lab equipment for studying materials at the sub-nano level, which will enable corporations to produce products which are smaller, faster, lighter, and less expensive. So what we have depicted here is the system itself going left to right, where a sample is placed into a alignment and probe assembly, which are US patented as of this last March, which then go into an isolation chamber where variables are put against that sample of material. And then the data is fed into through a data acquisition system where our proprietary software analyzes that information for the research scientist. So as already mentioned, we have U.S. patent approval. We have patents pending now in 44 other countries. All 28 claims of the U.S. patent were allowed, and it clearly is disruptive